Today is a monumental day. We will be reviewing the next gen bumper safe hauler for Paul Conrev. And let me just put this into perspective for you guys. So way back in 2006, when the original Cars movie came out, everyone loved the Piston Cup. And of course, we had the OG, the original bumper safe racer, Paunchy Wipeout. And we always joked like, oh, it'd be so cool to get team members for these racers, pitties, crew chiefs, haulers. And Mattel actually did that. I mean, granted, a lot of people criticize Mattel for not completing the Piston Cup teams and canceling a whole slew of haulers because they canceled around 10 haulers. However, I want to praise Mattel for actually releasing so many team members. I mean, look at this. Bumper Save now has almost a complete team, minus a few members from the Cars 3 Next Gen team and maybe the Stock Car team as well, but we'll talk about that later. And then in 2017, when Cars 3 came out, we had two more racers, of course, the upgraded Paunchy Wipeout and the next gen bumper save racer, Paul Conrev. And yet we joked again. We're like, oh, wouldn't it be so cool to get next gen haulers? And at this point, we were hard. We were strict collectors. We were like, Mattel canceled all the haulers back in 2010, so we have no hope. There is no positivity or optimism within us to really think that Mattel will give us these haulers. But sure enough, just a couple years later, they released the stock car hauler. So this one's a little different from the original one. And now here we have the next gen bumper safe hauler. And I am just so excited for this because this opens the door to so many other haulers, more next gen haulers, more stock car haulers. So really, I am so optimistic for the future of the Cars line. And at this point, I get it. If they don't release every single hauler, I mean, that's a lot. 36 for each stock car and next gen, that's 72 haulers. That's ridiculous. That would cost over like $2,000 to buy. But regardless, I'm happy with what we have here, and let's dive into the review here. So as you guys know, haulers are unfortunately exclusive to Walmart stores. So Walmart is only in the United States and Canada, so pretty much those are the only two countries where you can find this at a store. I did actually find this guy at my local Walmart store. Well, I don't know if I'd say local because I don't really go there, but it's kind of close, not that far. Only like 15 miles away. And other than that, I haven't seen any. He's very rare. However, he has been floating available on Walmart.com, and I'll toss the link in the description below. So this link, usually they can't deliver it to you for some reason, so you have to go to your local store and pick it up. So perhaps that's an option for you. Definitely check that out, because if you can't find him in a store, Walmart.com sometimes has him for the same exact price. In my opinion, this is a must get for all collectors. The first next gen hauler, besides of course Jackson Storms, but I don't really count him because he's a main character, and it's as if they released let's go back to Cars 2. It's like when they released Cars 2 Mac. I mean, it's a main character. They didn't release any haulers after that for Cars 2, even though, there weren't really many, but you guys know what I'm saying. So this is really a significant release in my opinion. I also want to confirm that Cruz Ramirez is getting a hauler like this. This, of course, though, is the plastic playset version, which I did review a couple years ago, so I'll toss that link in the description below, along with the Cars Junction pop-up in the top right-hand corner. But this is getting a die-cast 155 scale version here, like Paul Conrev's hauler. Even though, by the way, they mislabeled him Paunchy Wipeout hauler, which is just straight up disappointing. But, it's Mattel. What are you going to do? Yeah, he's on the Blue Desert packaging. On the back here, you can see a nice loose image of Paul's hauler, who actually looks like a female because of the eyeliner there, but we don't know because they really didn't give her a name, or him. There's Paul Conrev coming out the back there, and how it folds out. Looking good, looking good. And now this was made in China, believe it or not. This is probably one of the last cars we'll ever get made in China. So savor the moment here, because haulers are likely going to be moving to Vietnam or Thailand, which is kind of scary to me as well. I do have to throw some pessimism in here because they have to change factories for the haulers now, and they haven't done that yet, I'd say maybe they'll cancel some or they'll really postpone Cruise's hauler. I do not know, but we'll see what happens. I like to stay optimistic about this. Like I said, I'm really excited for what the future of the hauler line entails because, because they did this, they can do anything. But anyways, I'll be right back with this hauler all opened up. So here is Paul's hauler all opened up, looking absolutely amazing. And now before we get into the review, I do want to quickly preface and say I have a bunch of other bumper save videos that I'll put links to in the description below and the card suggestions in the top right hand corner. And I don't mean to inundate you with a bunch of videos, but because there are so many bumper save team members, yeah, Bumper Save is the largest Piston Cup team now, just because of all the haulers, racers, pitties, crew chiefs that they've released for the team. So it's pretty remarkable. But yeah, I have a video on the Cars 1 team because at that point that was all there was. Then I have a video on the Cars 3 hauler when that came out, and I have videos on the racers as well. So definitely check that out if you're a little confused, because it is kind of hard to follow, especially if you're a new collector, considering there is so much stuff. But yeah, let's dive right into the review now. Of course, Paul's hauler here did not really appear in the movie. You can kind of see some next-gen haulers in the background, and if I can find a picture of Paul's, I will put it there. If not, you're just going to see, some other haulers. I know like some of them got really good views, like No Stall hauler and whatnot, but I'm not so sure about Paul's. Now, I did open it up, and you can see it's pretty easy. Just go straight for the bottom and then pop open the top plastic part. But there's a little rubber band here that you also want to remove. And it looks like it's wrapped around. Yeah, so we're going to have to detach the two here to remove that. Usually these are really, okay, that wasn't as hard as I thought. Usually they're really hard to unattach or detach. So there we go, rubber band is gone. We're gonna start with the semi here. Now let me know in the comment section below a good name for this guy. I really would love to know because Mattel didn't name him, and that's our job now. We have to name this guy and maybe put like a little bumper save spin on it. I think that'd be fun. And I will try and come up with a name myself, although I'm not as good as you guys are when we've done this before. But yeah, it looks like a female to me, which is cool, even though I feel like they just did that because of the fact that Gail is a female and she was the first next-gen hauler. And so they're just kind of copying her. The expressions are pretty much the same, although Gail has a different mouth. Actually, yeah, the eyes are quite a bit different too. It looks like they lowered the eyes a little bit or raised the eyelids, so that's pretty sweet. Happy about that they changed it up. They also had to change up the entire model because of the grille here and the headlights, so that's actually really cool. They're entirely different shapes. Oh my gosh. If you look really closely here at the grille and the headlight, not only did they, interchange the grille, but just look at the shape of this, how it comes in like that. I mean, there's nothing like that here. It's just that one kind of downward arrow there along the fender. But this here, just look at that. I mean, just soak it in. They are entirely different models. So, bravo to Mattel for changing them up, because they could have easily kept them all Gail's model because of the fact that we don't really see these in the movie. And that's what they did for Cars 1. They had all the semis, like these back here. Everyone's the same model. They have different expressions sometimes, but most of the time they are the same model. All the time, actually. But anyway, he's number 90, of course, reflecting Paul Conrev's design there. He's got the modern Bumper Save logo on his hat, which of course is a B and an S and a $sign, all combined in the seemingly one character, which is awesome. Pixar did a phenomenal job designing these modern next-gen logos and branding. Of course, you have the Bumper Save text below there. I really like this turquoise rim and trim around the hat. I think it gives it a phenomenal flair and it just looks really good. Again, I don't know who designed this. Probably Mattel, because of the fact that, you know, again, like I said, she does not appear in the movie. Another thing I absolutely love are these rims here. They're just, I mean, they look like peppermint candies. I mean, that's just awesome. The little white trim there and kind of like a metallic red hubcap. That looks great. Way better than Jackson Storm's bland rims. But of course, that they had to do because it's right from the movie. There's a lot of little outlining here for like the door, which you didn't quite see on Jackson Storm's as much. I mean, there's a little bit, but not as intricate as on Paul's here. You got this red kind of triangular arrow right there. Looks like I have a little chip on mine. That's not what you like to see. Of course, there's the little hitch. Looks like some weird painting going on there. There's a lot of like upsplash. You have a little red part up here. Now this hat is plastic, just to let you guys know. You got the little vents up there too. Yeah, darn, that thing actually just finally came off. That stinks. I could see like when I moved it, my hand took the paint right off. Yep, there it is. No. I hate chips, guys. I really hate chips. Nothing in the world I hate more than chips. On the base here, you can see Made in China still, which is rare, but definitely a welcome surprise. There's the classic date stamp that China uses. These are the holes that attach them into the packaging. Mattel, it's a very reflective base, my goodness. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the trailer here. So this is all plastic. Of course, you have the 90 there again. A little gray stripe, and then just a lovely bumper save pattern up here, which you can see toward the back of Paul Conrev, where all these S's are just kind of mixed together to create a really just mesmerizing view here. I really like it. Very modern. Of course, the red background. There's bumper save again. Bumper save up top here as well. Bumper save on the back with the taillights. Same design on this side. The base, you just have Made in China because China's proud. They had to put it on there twice. Now, of course, this is the part that opens. But I always struggle opening these because there's really no like hitch or like little lever. So, I don't know. We're going to try to push down on the hinge there. Why are these so difficult to open? I have to get my fingernail up in there and bring it down. There we go. A little difficult to open, but overall not too bad. Ooh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Look at all the design they put in there. That probably is a sticker. No, that's a decal. No way. Look at that. We have like a little tire in the top right, a little tool chest in the bottom right, a little like, I don't know, some sort of lift, some hanging pipes, a little cone back there, air filter, some cabinets on the left. That's phenomenal. I cannot believe they're doing that. I don't think they did this with Gail Boffert. We're going to have to check that out. That's awesome. I'm so happy to see that. Mattel, you really did a great job here with Paul Conrev's hauler. That is just next level detailing there because it's so deep in there. I mean, you really can hardly see it, but they went to that extra length. Of course, I love the texture here, that metal flooring. Then this little support can drop down, and then you can create a nice little platform for Paul Conrev to drive up onto. And there you can go inside. You can close that up. And I'm not going to close it all the way because we know how difficult it is, but then you can drive him around, reattach this by just putting some force on it, and then there you go. You can drive Paul Conrev to his next race. And when you get there, you could... still struggling to get open. There we go. Come on. So when you get to your next race, you can pull him back out. Flip back down the support. Oh, he's ready to race. That's awesome, guys. All right, well, now we got to do some comparisons here, because I really am curious to see what was in Gail Boffert's back Even though I did review him for the 12 Days of Christmas, I should remember, but I don't think there was anything like that. Otherwise, I would have remembered. Oh yeah, I do remember this actually, I think. It's not as intricate and special as Paul Conrev's hauler, but he does still have that decal in there, you know, just kind of for Jackson Storm. Looks like maybe a TV with some things on the side there. So definitely not as detailed as Paul Conrev's, but at least they still put a decal there. So technically we have two next gen haulers because of course this is Jackson Storm's hauler and now we have Paul Conrev's, but they are entirely different models. The semis are completely different, which I was not expecting at all. I mean, that's phenomenal on Mattel's part because let me tell you, for Cars 1, every single semi-cab was the exact same, like I already said. But anyways, guys, that is it for Paul. I do want to bring in the two other haulers here so we can kind of get a legacy thing going on. This is the 10-year challenge, essentially. You could say 2010, 2018, and then 2020. Because this guy was released at the end of 2018. Beautiful. Which one is your favorite? I mean, I think we're all going to go with the next gen hauler, but I still want to put the question out there. I'm sure some people will go with one of these. If I was asked between these two, I would go with this one over here just because the design looks fresher. And I'm really upset I accidentally chipped my original bumper safe hauler while I was trying to dust him. The duster got caught on the side view mirror and it flung him off my shelf. I still hate myself. I still hate myself. Oh well. No big deal. I'm not going to sell him. I still have him in my collection, and that's all that matters. Yeah, let's try and get a little team scene going on here. We have Paul, and we've got some of the original pitties that don't really look like they fit with the next gens, but still though. You can put the original Paunchy up there. We got the Cars 3 Paunchy Wipeout. Maybe you can cram the bumper safe crew chief in there. Dang. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I really want to emphasize that this is just a monumental day for us cars collectors. The fact that they released this, I'm so happy about, and I really cannot wait to see what else Mattel has in store for the haulers line. I just do wish they went back to 2009 when they were available at all stores, Target and Toys R Us included. Obviously, Toys R Us no longer exists nowadays, but you guys get the point. Just wish they were a little bit more available for us. You know, all of our international friends here, people in Europe always ask me like, hey, Disney Docket, where can I get haulers? I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I will see you guys soon for another video. Bye now. Psych! Wait a second. Do people actually still say psych? Like in middle school, I feel like that was just the thing. I'd just be walking down the hallway and somebody would like say Disney Docket, high five. They put their hand up and I'd go and high five it and then they pulled it away real quick and say psych. And it was the most annoying thing ever. But I guess that's just middle school for you. But yeah, sorry to psych you guys out, but I am back. I just want to do a little bonus content for those who stuck around. Two things I mainly want to talk about here. First of all, yeah, you know what it is. Congratulations, Paul Conrev's hauler. You get an A+. I'm so impressed with you. Love that decal in the back. Love that you actually got released, so that gives you an A+. Secondly, well, I guess there might be three things we talk about here. Secondly, I have a prototype of Paul Conrev's semi here that I got 2 years ago. So that just shows you how long that this has been in production. And it's funny, too, that it got postponed so much because it's not like they had to move production to Thailand or Vietnam. This still got made in China. But yeah, it's so cool to have a prototype of this. I always thought that this was actually Gail Baufford's semi, but as you can see, you know, because of the grill and because of the rims and all that, this is actually Paul Conrev's hauler. I can't say whether it's cruises or not yet, but I mean, it's definitely applies to Paul's for sure. So that's really exciting. And the third thing I want to talk about is for those of you who stuck around throughout this 20-minute video, I have a bunch of custom next-gen haulers, and since we may be getting more next-gen haulers in the future, like legitimate ones from Mattel, I thought it'd be a good build up to review some of these custom ones. So in the poll in the top right hand corner, vote for what hauler you want me to review next. I have 4 here that I'm going to put in the poll. We have Chase Racelets, aka Vitaline. Up next is Ed Trunken racing for Mood Springs. These are still available on eBay, and we'll talk about that in their individual videos. But here is N2O Cola for HJ Hollis. And last but definitely not least, well actually maybe is least out of these 4. But Shiny Wax for Conrad Camber. Let me know which one you want me to review first. I want to review Chase Racelets hauler first, so I'm going to vote for that one. But feel free to vote for whichever you want. And actually now, bye now.